Introduce Kevin Poniatowski. Kevin is a software security trainer and has traveled the world speaking to organizations and corporations. He's now a consultant and has more time to pursue his hobbies. So he's recently been to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Las Vegas. I'm not sure which hobby you were pursuing there. And he'll be traveling to Brazil to teach a course in late April. So Kevin's speech tonight is titled Nothing to Learn. Kevin Poniatowski.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I am just a regular guy. I don't have visions. I don't channel any spirits. I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen any ghosts. But every once in a while, I get a really deep and meaningful thought. I don't know where they come from. Some say that they come from up above. Others say that they come from a source deep inside of me. I don't know. But what I think is most important is how I take that deep, meaningful message and apply it to my life. How do I take that message and apply it to my life in a way that I can experience my life in a more meaningful and pleasurable manner? So tonight, I'm going to share with you my latest deep and meaningful thought. So picture the scene. I'm flying high up in an airplane, in coach, watching an in-flight movie, Kung Fu Panda. And out of nowhere, I am struck with a thought like a bolt of lightning. There is nothing to learn, only things to let go of. Now, what does that mean? Nothing to learn? Was all my time I spent in college a waste? I don't think it was. But now that I go back and look at it, nothing I studied helped me to plot the course of my life. Sure, I learned a lot of facts, even retained a few of them. But I was never tested on a subject that helped me become a better Kevin. I have a different goal than most people do. The goal of my life is to become happy, truly happy. And I read recently in an article that it's been estimated that up to 25% of Fortune 500 CEOs are clinically depressed. 25%! And you know, all of them had their noses buried in their books when they were in school. So it's obvious. They didn't learn anything either that helped them to become happier people, healthier people. But that's my goal. My goal is to become happy, healthy, loving, and peaceful. So how do I take that message? There's nothing to learn, only things to let go of, and apply that to my life. How do I do that? I've given it a lot of thought about this message, how it applies to me. And I realized that every time I've taken a large leap forward when it comes to being a happier and healthier Kevin, that I had given up something that I thought was very important to me, but in fact was hindering me. For example, For many years, I spent a lot of energy holding together a miserable relationship. Absolutely miserable. But when I finally let that relationship go, I immediately became much happier and much healthier. When I gave up living in a home that I loved very much in Florida, where the climate is wonderful, it was made for me, I moved here and was urged to join Toastmasters, where I found I have a passion for public speaking. When I gave up a job that had long-term security as a software engineer with a large company that does Department of Defense work, and I did this because I wanted to pursue my passion of public speaking and doing it professionally, I was able to travel the world and have experiences I never dreamed would actually happen to me. Every time I have given up something that I felt was important to me, my life improved. It's interesting. You wouldn't think it would work out that way, but that's the way it has worked for me. Yeah, there are some things we need to learn. You have to learn how to balance your checkbook. You have to learn how to drive a car. You need to learn a skill to make money. But when I started thinking about all the things I thought I needed to learn, I realized I needed to learn those things so I could survive. But those things don't help me to flourish. Going back to my example, 25% of Fortune 500 CEOs are clinically depressed. Well, that tells me becoming filthy rich is not necessarily the way I need to go to become a happy person. That's not necessarily on the path of happiness. But when I give up habits, behaviors, addictions that I believe were important to me, I did become happier. There's a story that has stuck with me for a very long time. I read it in a book. The life of a monk before he reaches enlightenment is filled with chopping wood, fetching water. The life of a monk after he reaches enlightenment is filled with chopping wood, fetching water. The details of our lives may not change. We may still go through certain traumatic events. But by giving up addictions, habits, desires, we may actually be opening ourselves up to our full potential. One of my favorite authors is Dr. Wayne Dyer. Wonderful author, wonderful speaker. And one of his thoughts that have held with me for years and years and years, he says, when growth occurs, latent talents emerge. There is nothing to learn, only things to let go. And I'm Toastmaster.